The relationship between induced drag and the aspect ratio is a decrease in the aspect ratio increases the induced drag after the transition point between the laminar and turbulent boundary layer. The mean speed and friction drag increases.
Drag can also be described as resistance to motion.
The wing anti-ice system has to protect the leading edge or the slats, either partially or completely, when climbing at a constant CAS in a standard atmosphere. TAS increases.
The highest temperature of the gas flow in a turbine engine will be at the flame in the primary zone.
To protect various circuits and components, circuit breakers or fuses are used.
When selected to normal, the oxygen-air ratio of the mixture supplied by the cockpit oxygen system regulator increases when the altitude increases. If the main oil iter of a gas turbine engine becomes clogged, oil to the main bearings is still assured, because the oil filter bypass valve opens.
Electrical power is measured in watts. The component that converts hydraulic pressure into linear motion is called an actuator or jack.
In the airflow through a single-spool axial flow turbojet engine, the axial velocity of the air is greatest on exit from the propelling nozzle.
Turbocharger consists of a compressor and turbine mounted on a common shaft.
If the elevator trim tab is deflected up, the cockpit trim indicator shows nose down. The ultimate effect of supercharging and turbocharging is increase the volumetric efficiency of the engine. Mechanical stress of the turbine blades can be caused by high turbine entry temperatures and turbine rotational velocity. The use of too low an octane fuel may cause detonation.
An airplane performs a right turn. The slip indicator is left of neutral. One way to coordinate the turn is to apply more left rudder.
The aspect ratio of the wing is the ratio between the wingspan and the mean geometric chord. Jet engine total efficiency indicates the efficiency at which chemical power in the fuel is transformed into propulsive power, T times V.
In a gas turbine combustion chamber, secondary air is required for cooling of the inner casing.
About a twin spoof compressor. The low-pressure spool runs at a lower RPM than the high-pressure spool. Which of the following statements about the spin is correct? During spin recovery, the ailerons should be kept in the neutral position.
During hydroplaning, the friction coefficient between tire and runway surface is approximately 0.
The lift force, acting on an aerofoil, no flow separation, is mainly caused by reduced pressure on the upper surface. Which statement is correct for a gas turbine engine with a constant speed propeller and free power turbine when the power setting is increased? 1. The gas generator speed decreases. 1 is incorrect. 2. The EGT decreases. 2 is incorrect.
The type of stall that has the largest associated angle of attack is a deep stall.
When the combustion gases pass through a turbine age, the pressure drops. In a piston engine, turbocharger boost pressure may be monitored by a manifold pressure gauge only.
The lift and drag forces acting on a wing cross-section depend on the pressure distribution about the wing cross-section.
The ABS auto brake system is disconnected during landing by pilot action. The oil supply to gas turbine engine bearings is maintained in the event of the main oil filter becoming clogged by differential pressure opening the bypass valve of the main oil filter.
The subsonic static pressure decreases in a flow in a tube when the diameter decreases. A slat will prolong the stall to a higher angle of attack.
The capacity of a battery is given in ampere hours.
With an aircraft fitted with a fixed pitch propeller, during flight at normal cruising speed, one magneto fails completely. This will first cause loss of approximately 100 RPM. Increasing air density will have the following effect on the drag of a body in an airstream angle of attack and TAZ are constant. The drag increases.
A diluted demand oxygen regulator selected to 100%. Delivers oxygen flow when inhaling.
Winds here may be described as a change in wind direction and/or speed in space, including updrafts and downdrafts. To counter the effects of winds here, the amount of control action that is required is substantial. One of the advantages of an annular combustion chamber is a reduced thermal stress on the turbine.
During an erect spin recovery, the ailerons are held in the neutral position.
Electrical power is measured in watts. With regard to the snapper coupling, right magneto is equipped with a snapper coupling.
The function of the slot between an extended slat and the leading edge of the wing is to cause a Venten effect, which energizes the boundary layer.
The total reaction has two components, lift and drag, which phenomenon is counteracted with differential aileron deflection adverse yaw.
True airspeed TAS is lower than the indicated airspeed IAS at altitudes below sea level under ISA conditions.
In the event of failure of the normal method of system pressure limiting, a hydraulic system usually incorporates a high-pressure relief valve. Transformers are extremely versatile devices that can be used to step up or down alternating current voltage.
A smoke hood is a device covering the whole head and with a continuous oxygen flow.
An increase in the lift coefficient of an aerofoil will increase induced drag.
The pistons are usually high-strength aluminium alloy forgings. The part of a piston engine that transforms reciprocating movement into rotary motion is called the crankshaft.
The point where the aerodynamic lift acts on a wing is the center of pressure.
The fan in a high bypass ratio turbojet engine produces the greatest part of the thrust. One of the advantages of annular combustion chamber over a multiple can is that the thermal load distribution on the HP turbine is more favorable.
The octane rating of a fuel characterizes the resistance to detonation.
A stage in an axial compressor consists of a rotor disc followed by a ring of stator blades. All aircraft electrical systems include a battery used to supply power to essential services in the event of generator failure.
What is the effect on induced drag of an increase in aspect ratio? Induced drag decreases because the effect of tip vortices decreases.
The subsonic static pressure decreases in a flow in a tube when the diameter decreases.
In order to maintain constant speed during a level, coordinated turn, compared with straight level flight, the pilot must increase thrust power and angle of attack. Some of the major components of the light aircraft engine are crankshaft, gearbox, connecting rod.
To maintain the correct air-fuel ratio of a piston engine, independent of power setting, a carburetor is fitted with diffuser compensating jet.
True airspeed TAS is indicated airspeed IAS corrected for instrument position, compressibility, and density errors.
The advantages of a boxer piston engine is good weight performance ratio.
One of the causes of high oil temperature in a gas turbine engine at constant power setting is malfunction of the heat exchanger. Cabin pressurization is regulated by the cabin outflow valve.
Once the engine has started, ignition systems of piston engines are independent of the electrical system of the aircraft.
Relief and bypass valves allow the regulation of oil pressure.